This episode of the Wayang Crew podcast is brought to you by Times Cineplex. Hey, welcome back everyone to yet another episode of the Wayang Crew podcast. It's me, Kev, as usual, on this podcast where we talk about all things movies, especially movies that are playing here in Brunei Darussalam. This week we're giving you our review of The Lion King, which is the latest live-action remake from Disney. First up, it's my co-host, it's Del.
Hello.
What's up, bro?
It's Marvel Day.
It is Marvel Day.
It's exciting.
We'll talk a lot more about that in the news. How are you this past 2 weeks? Because we missed an episode last week as we were all busy and still riding on Cloud 9 from our biggest ever Bruha headliner show.
I'm okay.
You're okay?
I didn't perform, so I wasn't on Cloud 9 or any cloud.
But you felt that sense of satisfaction,
Sure, of course,
right?
yes.
I'm sure.
You did an important job too.
Well, yes.
Let's not take away from that.
No, but then I didn't have the high.
Well, I'm sure you had a contact high from some of us. Next up is the other co-host of the podcast. It's Tibby.
Hey,
What's up?
nothing much. Great.
You were not well yesterday.
I was not. I was in bed the whole day. Yes.
So just in bed.
Yeah, just in bed. Let's not get into
not
specifics because it's very graphic.
Up next, she's back. It's Nazu. What's up, Naz?
Hey, everything's great.
Cool.
Ish.
Everything's great-ish. Which means it's either not great or just a little bit above great.
No.
How are you?
Yeah, good.
No. Fine, I'll forgive you. It's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Sure.
Yeah.
And he's back. You brought him back, and
Yeah.
he's on the podcast. Not like the last episode where he sat that one out. It's Afif. He's back on the podcast. What's up, dude?
I'm good.
Okay.
He's good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Everyone's good.
Everyone's good.
Everyone's
Everyone's
good today.
feeling great. Yeah.
Everyone's feeling
Two
great.
of you are just like, yeah, sure.
We're excited to be here.
Yeah.
Excited to be here because it is Marvel Day.
I know. Oh, yes.
But we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's get to the news. First up, we got a bunch of trailers while we were off the air. Did everyone check out the trailer for Mulan?
Yes.
I think it's a very good trailer.
She's
I'm
so
excited.
pretty.
Whoa.
Really?
I know. I think she's
Alright.
pretty, but like plain enough to look like a guy.
Oh.
Like,
What are you trying to say?
no, I mean,
It's like a
because she
backhanded
has
compliment.
she has to be pretty, but like also not pretty enough so that she can be a guy
Oh, so
in the army.
she has to
dainty?
disguise herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
So,
guess-
I think with Hollywood magic, anything can, anyone can.
Yeah.
so I think what you're saying is that she's sort of indifferent.
Yeah.
She's not like wow, but she's also not ugh.
Yeah.
She's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like me.
Yeah, definitely. Come on. You're a little bit above
Average.
okay.
Man.
Leaning more towards wow, Del. Come on.
Yeah, I understand why they don't have Mushu in it.
Yeah, they can't have Mushu in this because if Mushu were to be featured in this film, he would definitely be a hallucination of some sort.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
she was probably, doing something recreational. And that's not good. We
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
have that.
It's Disney.
And Mushu was the reason the Huns found out they were on the mountains in the cartoon.
Really? I can't
remember
remember.
that.
Yeah, because they were walking through the pass, and then Mushu and the cricket accidentally lit up one of the fireworks.
Right.
That's how the Huns.
Wasn't that they were already fighting?
No. They didn't want their positions exposed, but because of Mushu and the cricket.
I thought that was the part where everyone was attacking and then he lit up the firework and then started
That's one of the two.
after.
There's 3 scenes where they shot the
okay.
fireworks.
Anyway, doesn't matter. This movie's coming out
Yeah.
next year, March of 2020. Can't wait for that. The trailer looks actually really, really good.
Yeah.
We also got a trailer. Well, not really a trailer. It's a teaser for The King's Man, which is the origin story of Kingsman.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is set like around the time of World War One.
Yep.
Ralph Fiennes is the main character in this one, I guess. I don't know. Do we need more of these movies? But it's nice to have like an origin
Yeah.
of sorts. It reminds me of like the 60s kind of James
Why
Bond film.
why don't we have a James Bond origin then?
We do.
We do?
The first James Bond.
Yeah, but a reboot.
No,
Because
it's,
not everyone was alive when it was.
I don't think there was ever a movie about the origin of how this person became James Bond. Or-
Yes, there was.
Really?
Yes,
Oh.
the first Daniel Craig movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was his origin. He was not a 00
yeah,
status
that's right,
agent,
that's right.
and that was the origin.
Oh. They should have made that more clear.
I know.
Anyway, back to this movie called The King's Man. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's like a thing where if we get it, cool. If we don't get it, I wasn't impressed with the last movie anyway.
Yeah, no one was looking.
I think this one looks good because of how the war scenes were.
Yeah.
I think that gives it another whole dimension, not something set in the present time, but to go back all the way into what was that, World War II or the Vietnam War?
World War One, I think. It's not
World War One.
Maybe World War One.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
I think that's the origin of it. And there was like a nice shot of heroism where he was carrying his comrade through the battlefield and there were bullets whizzing by. So we do see, why they are who they are, which is something we never got to see from the new iteration, which is Taron Egerton's character.
Who's
Yeah.
lead on this? Who's the?
Ray Fiennes, right?
Yeah, Ray Fiennes.
There's a new guy.
And a new
young
guy.
guy.
Yeah, new young guy.
Somebody who wears a kilt, very manly, I guess.
So he's Scottish.
I
Okay.
guess
Right.
so.
This is coming out February of next year, 2020. That also looks quite good. This trailer came out and I was not expecting this. It's the new Maleficent trailer.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. It's just that
Why do we need it?
I thought Angelina Jolie doesn't want to act anymore
She needs money.
Didn't we
Cash
talk
grab,
about
man.
to fund her humanitarian aid stuff.
no, to fund her divorce. I'm sorry.
Did we not talk about this in the last episode?
I think we mentioned it, but the trailer had not come out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the trailer came out like
I
2 weeks ago.
remember talking about this, and Kai was saying Michelle Pfeiffer is hot, and I was like, yeah, and she's wielding a crossbow, and we had a whole debate of crossbow, and
I can't remember.
Really?
but-
I remember that part.
Yeah.
The Michelle Pfeiffer.
yeah.
That's
Anyway,
about it.
okay,
so this trailer is out. There is an expansion of the story that we got in the first movie, and I think that's fine. And this movie is coming out in October.
Not interested. I don't know.
No, it's just
No, and like I don't know. She now she's the mistress of evil. Why? Like at first she was evil, then she became a good guy, and now this movie's trying to make her a bad guy again.
she was never a good guy.
yeah, she was never.
I mean, she was never a bad guy.
Yeah.
She began as a good guy.
But
Well,
now-
a good woman.
But now, at the end of this trailer, we see that she has her own kind.
Yeah,
her own kind,
which is
and
Chiwetel as well.
I have no idea.
but then I think the bad guy in this movie is Michelle Pfeiffer, who's wielding a crossbow.
So it's the good guy who's actually the bad guy.
Michelle Pfeiffer
Sorry to get
plays the
confusing.
mother of
The prince.
Aurora's fiance.
yeah, Prince
Yeah.
Philip.
Yeah.
So it's the in-laws,
the in-law. She's an in-law. Oh.
evil in-laws.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of evil, It Chapter 2, we got a trailer.
Yes.
I'm excited.
A new trailer, a second trailer for this movie.
Yes.
This looks very, very, very scary
Very sick.
and very good.
Very, very good trailer.
Who is the clown at the end?
Oh, that's the actor
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
it's the
the
same guy.
Pennywise.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
One of the Skarsgård.
It's
Yeah.
the origin, I guess.
So that's his origin, like
Yeah,
final
the
form.
No, first
No,
of
no,
all.
no.
first-
First form.
Okay.
Like before he became a clown.
Human form.
But the thing is, in the story,
He's an alien.
was never
he's an
human.
interdimensional
Yeah.
being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he takes on the forms of whatever scares
Yeah.
you the
Yeah.
most. So I guess
Oh,
that...
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what's from the first movie? I didn't
That's
get
from
that.
The original
book,
movie.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, not the first movie then.
No,
No.
it was never explained in the first movie what it
Yeah.
was.
So that's why it's more mysterious that way.
Mm.
They should keep it that way.
They should keep
But-
it that way.
But
Yeah.
the original It movie, they already
But
established it.
that's not it. That's not canon.
Ah,
That,
yes.
That doesn't.
have any weight to
Yeah.
this. Apparently, because Stephen King was not happy with that TV series.
Ah,
So, yeah, there's a lot to say about that.
all right.
Jay and Silent Bob, there is a reboot movie coming out, and we got the first trailer, which was a Red Band trailer. This, to me, is the greatest thing that I saw this week.
What?
Yes,
It's such
I'm
a
a
stupid
huge
movie.
Jay and Silent Bob fan. I love all of Kevin Smith's movies, except for maybe one or two.
Have you seen Tusk?
Yes, I have.
You like that one?
I didn't like it. I just fine. I understand what you're trying to do. It's not for me. I like your comedy stuff better. This was
That was weird.
Tusk was a misappropriation of talent. Okay. I don't know. I knew that they were shooting this movie and they were doing a reboot. I think they only shot it over 40 days and most of the cast are back.
Is it even a reboot?
It's not really a
It's
reboot.
Jay and Silent Bob a reboot, right?
They're calling it a reboot, but it's not a reboot. It's a continuation of the first Jay and Silent Bob movie.
The
Yeah.
synopsis is them trying to stop the reboot being from getting made.
Yeah, correct.
That's why it's called a reboot.
So it's in the title. I'm excited for this. I want to watch it. It's probably not going to come out in theaters here in Brunei, but I'll find a way to watch it. Top Gun Maverick, which is the sequel to the 1989 movie Top Gun. We got a trailer and it was debuted at Comic-Con, which is happening this weekend in San Diego. And I have to say that I was doubting this movie. I thought, they can't make me excited for this.
I'm looking forward to this.
And I saw it and I'm like, I'm sold. This is cool. I am.
Someone's very excited.
I just think it's
humming.
appropriate.
What
Background music.
the best thing about this trailer was the epic score, which was derived from the original theme music.
Also, the scenes which was similar from the original movie.
Very similar. It really is the successor to the first movie.
Yeah.
It still feels very 80s.
Yeah.
There's beach volleyball. There's Kawasaki motorcycles.
What's his partner's name again?
Goose.
Wait, the other guy.
Iceman.
Iceman.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
You know what this movie is gonna do, right?
It's gonna bring back.
Bring
him.
back.
It's gonna bring back aviator sunglasses again.
I've always been using aviators.
Yes.
So
Fun fact: I was when I was driving here. I was when I stopped outside your house, Kev.
yeah.
This song was playing on the radio.
Oh.
That's why it's like fresh in my head.
So it's not because I was playing the trailer while you were sitting outside.
No.
I don't think that's pure coincidence.
He was playing in his MP3 player.
Yeah, the CD.
That's why.
I think this movie is going to do very, very well, and I think it's going to really expand on the world of Top Gun. This is not going to be the last Top Gun
I don't
movie.
think so.
No.
Depending on the success.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we have something that's, we're all very excited for, which is Top Gun. Here's a movie which I don't know how I feel about, and it's coming out. We got a trailer this week. It's Cats,
No.
the movie.
Best trailer of the year.
I think I'm getting an
man.
allergy reaction to it.
So good.
Wait, are you being serious?
I am being serious.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if he's sarcastic.
No, I'm not. I can tell you, no, I'm not.
I'd watch Cats over Maleficent.
Oh, okay.
The first shot of the cats, I was so taken by surprise because they look just like cats, and then they move just like cats.
But they're so slender.
Yeah, they're
Just like
Like
cats.
cats.
Yes,
What did I
but fur, lacking fur.
they don't lack fur. They just have shorter fur.
They've
She's
been
not wrong.
trimmed.
Oh man.
Yeah, the white one is like so beautifully trimmed. Like they paid a lot of money to get her trimmed that way.
Oh man.
And then there's the one that is not trimmed, like the older ones, which is
Judy Dench.
yeah.
I'd
well,
watch Cats over Dora the Explorer.
Actually, I'd watch Dora the
I'd
Explorer.
watch Dora.
I'd watch Dora the Explorer.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, this movie, Cats, it's a star-studded cast. They're introducing a new actress, Francesca Hayward. Judi Dench is in this movie. Jason Derulo is in this movie.
Yeah.
Idris Elba, Jennifer Hudson, Ian McKellen, Taylor Swift, and Rebel Wilson. I mean, these are big names, and as you can see, some of these actors here are singers, like Jason Derulo and Taylor Swift and Jennifer Hudson. So
I think Taylor Swift's the bad cat.
I would love to watch this movie when it comes out, just for the fact that the title is going to come out, Cats, and then there's going to be a subtitle at the bottom, Kuching.
Yes.
I love that. Okay, we're gonna dive into SDCC 2019, that's San Diego Comic-Con news. Today was a big day because we just had the Marvel panel at Hall H. They're back after 2 years of being absent. And our little group chat was buzzing quite early this morning at about 9 o'clock in the morning, because Marvel has given us a slew of announcements. They put out like a big picture with all the Phase 4 things.
Movies.
Not just movies, but
Series.
series and movies that will kick off Phase 4 of the MCU. very, very exciting stuff there. But the biggest news I think I'll take away from that is that they announced the casting for Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Legend of the
It
Ten
is?
Rings.
Legend of the Ten Rings.
Have you watched Kim Kardashian? Kim Kardashian.
me, what?
Kim's Convenience.
Yeah. Sumi,
That's him, yeah.
Because he tweeted about it. He was like, do you have any news
Kim
about it?
Kardashian.
And then they got back to him.
Yeah. So the story of how he got casted was that today is Sunday here in Brunei. It's still Saturday in the US. Last week, Sunday, he did a screen test for
Yeah.
Shang-Chi. He got a call on Tuesday telling him that he got the part and he's going to be Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
And today is Saturday. So he had Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to dwell on it. And he came onto the Comic-Con panel on Saturday to announce that he was Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
That's a really short time.
Yep.
But apart from that, we got a lot more. We got that picture with the timeline for Phase 4, and there's a lot of things on it. We've got WandaVision, which is coming out on Disney Plus, and apparently it's a post-Endgame series. Somehow Vision is back, but we don't know how. And
Right.
he's not.
What?
Yeah,
No,
no.
I'm shaking my head because I'm saying to myself, they're bringing back
Okay.
dead characters so soon.
Yeah, because I said it and you shook your head. I'm like, oh,
Because this is... You can go back to the past now.
there's time travel.
No,
Fine. And apparently we're going to see Wanda like fully grow into Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
what
I'm
do you
excited
mean?
to see that.
When you say fully grow,
We mean
what
as
are
in
you
we see the
referring
full
to?
force
Power.
and effect of her powers.
Okay.
Because apparently, if I correct me if I'm wrong, but she's never been called Scarlet Witch ever in any of these movies.
Nope.
No, it's Wanda.
She's always been Wanda. So
Yeah.
maybe she assumes the name now
Scarlet Witch.
and her powers are, fully developed and she finally
Yeah.
unlocks it. And we have a Dark Phoenix situation happening here. Maybe.
And she will be pairing up with Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Pairing with Doctor Strange. Going back to Shang-Chi, apparently the villain in this movie will be the real Mandarin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not Trevor Slattery from the last movie.
That'll never come.
Yeah.
I'm an actor.
They made it a point to cast mainly Asian actors, and Awkwafina is another actress who was announced that she was going to be in this movie.
She is blowing up.
She's everywhere.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
She's everywhere.
Asians
she's
are
not
the
the-
big thing now. If
Yeah.
you're Asian, you're good
Yeah.
in LA.
So we're good.
We should go there. We should go there.
We should go there.
Next
with
flight
Kai.
Yeah.
All right. We also got a TV series announced called well, it's Loki's TV series.
Yeah.
And it's confirmed that this series is going to be the endgame version of Loki, where he gets a hold of the Tesseract and then he disappears, which means that he's still the douchey Loki from
Yes.
Avengers 1.
That Loki.
Yep.
He hasn't
That
gone
Loki.
through his arc where he's, seemingly good now.
Yeah.
It's still that Loki, the one who wants to conquer.
Yep.
Aha. That should be interesting. The biggest announcement as well that we got is that there's going to be a Thor 4 called Love the Thunder. Taika Waititi is coming back to direct this one. And here's a bit of a surprise news. Natalie Portman
It's back.
is back and
Yep.
she is going to be Thor.
Yeah.
No,
Lady
wait,
Thor.
no.
Lady Thor.
No,
Lady
no, no,
Thor.
no.
She is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She actually
It's an
tweeted a
actual
photo. And she said,
thing.
this,
Dell's denial.
she tweeted the photo and she said, this is going to be a reminder before her body turns jacked.
No.
Yeah,
she has to-
What?
It's everywhere. She's going to be Lady Thor.
This
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Natalie Portman.
That's why it's ridiculous.
Natalie Portman. IG'd it. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Tessa Thompson was on the panel.
Yep.
Yep.
She's coming back as well. And she said something very, well, I wouldn't say cryptic, but she actually said that Valkyrie is now the king of Asgard and she's looking for her queen.
That
And she
is-
pointed to Natalie Portman.
Oh.
Oh.
What?
Okay. We're going that direction
Yeah, because
now.
no one wants to hire Natalie Portman anymore.
No, what?
No.
No.
The thing is, this is the biggest surprise that we got from this Comic-Con panel because Natalie Portman has come out in public to say that I'm done with
Yeah.
Marvel.
Yes.
I don't want to work with them anymore.
Yes.
No matter how much they pay me, it's over.
Yeah, but back then she was a big hit.
She
Now
still
she's
Look at her now.
No, she doesn't
No,
have
she's
to.
very selective with her projects.
She is. She's
she
very,
has
very
like
selective.
one
Yes.
project a year.
Because
And it's not because nobody wants to hire her.
she took a step back to raise her family and to look after her kids. That's the truth of it. But this is huge news. Like I'm surprised Dell did not pick
I
this
didn't
up.
know this.
Yep,
Yeah.
she's Lady Thor.
I'm very
Yeah,
upset.
it's right here.
there.
Like,
I'm
oh,
still very upset.
Endgame is breaking. What?
Yeah, it's broken.
Yeah, it's broken.
Avatar.
Record. Avatar. Now, like maybe I should be in Marvel.
yeah,
Right.
maybe.
It's
Wait,
in my
did
scope
Endgame really
now.
break?
No. We expect it to do so this weekend.
Yeah.
We also got an announcement that there's going to be a Disney Plus series called Hawkeye, and Jeremy Renner is going to be reprising his role as Hawkeye, and he's apparently going to be training a new Hawkeye from the comics, Kate Bishop.
Yeah, Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like a training transition thing between Clint and Kate. And Kevin Feige has said that they will go back to Clint, or they will be exploring what Clint went through in that 5-year gap between Infinity War and Endgame,
Yeah.
where he seemingly became Ronin.
Yep.
So they're going to be filling some holes there, which should be
Why
interesting.
is that different from what I read?
Really?
What I read was he's training a protege,
Yeah, which is Kate Bishop.
but nothing about Ronin.
And also, this is what Feige said on the panel. Like
Okay.
they will be telling some story points that which took place in that 5-year period.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like he's training a new person,
Maybe
and then he goes back and he has a flashback like,
recalling,
okay, this happened, so don't do that, or whatever it was.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Okay.
So,
Time
so,
travel.
No.
so they're gonna be so they're gonna be exploring that side of it a little bit. We also got this, which is called What If, and it's a Disney Plus series as well. There's a lot of these things coming out on Disney Plus. This will be an animated series, and effectively it's like alternate stories from alternate timelines, apparently, which kind of is like fan theories, I guess. And a lot of the Avengers cast are coming back to voice the characters, with the exception of Robert Downey Jr. for Iron Man and Chris
It's an
Evans.
animated
Why?
series, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
Yeah.
Because in my head, like one fan theory was Ant-Man being so small.
Yeah, he flies into.
Yeah.
Goes up.
Yeah.
Thanos'
Yeah.
backside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They-
I would see that.
Maybe.
But they've already disproved that theory.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
disproven
but
it.
what
what
if?
if? Like,
What
when
if?
showed it, what would happen?
No, as in they've explained how that if that happened, Ant-Man will die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ant-Man would die.
I want to see it.
Okay. No, but then
But there was they had like a big display up, and they had all these bunch of names in there, and Paul Rudd's name was there, and a couple of the other Avengers
Yeah.
names were up there, with the exception of Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans.
but so they have announced that they will not be back. To
I don't think they
voice?
announced that they
Oh,
won't
they
be
just
back.
the names are not there.
Their names were not there.
So it
Okay, I
could be a
thought this would
surprise.
be. I thought this would be the perfect way to bring them back.
Because this
to
is a what
voice.
if, right? So
Yeah.
what if it wasn't Tony Stark who snapped his fingers?
Oh no, like what if Tony Stark had another adventure somewhere else?
True.
Or what if Captain America never disappeared into the ice?
What if Tony Stark never got kidnapped by the 10 rings?
Yeah,
Yo.
and he'll become the
Evil.
the worst
Oh,
villain.
yeah. Yes.
Ever. And finally, this was like a tease from Kevin Feige. He said, look, there's something about Fantastic Four, but we can't say much about it. We'll see you at D23.
They're saving it.
Smart.
They're
Smart.
saving it. They are
Chris
sizzling-
Evans back
Sorry?
as
Chris Evans back as Human Torch.
yeah. Do
Right.
I look like Captain America? Oh, you're so
Oh, I'm so
kind.
sorry. I'm looking at the photo now, and we missed out Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
That's apparently going to be also on Disney Plus. Anthony Mackie is back to reprise his role as Falcon / I guess the new
Captain
Captain America.
Yeah, and
Yep.
they were trying on his new suit.
Yeah, he's confirmed that he has tried on the Captain America suit, although obviously we don't have any pictures. But more interestingly is that the logo for Falcon and the Winter Soldier has the Captain America shield on it.
Yeah.
So we are getting two Captain America.
Getting two Captain Americas.
I like how they the bad guy is Daniel Bruhl.
Yep, he's coming back. And Baron Zemo, he's reprising his role. Apparently, they say that he's going to be like the full Baron Zemo with the mask and everything.
Cool.
Wait, he's under arrest, right? Last we
Yes.
saw him in Civil War.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Maybe in one of the cubes, one of those.
yeah, maybe he
shield
escaped. Maybe during the
facilities.
snap he
Maybe he
disappeared
got
and then
Blipped.
yeah, and then,
the blip.
and then he blipped back.
Yeah.
So that's most of the Marvel news that we got this
You have
today.
not mentioned Blade?
Yeah, Blade.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry
Vampires.
about this. Yes, that was the last final news that we got. Is that Marshala Ali is going to be playing Blade?
Ah, I don't know.
He's
Very
from
surprised.
He's from Luke Cage, right?
Yes.
Yes,
What?
he was the bad guy in Luke
yeah,
Cage.
exactly. But he does seem like a Blade, though. I think.
I mean,
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
I can picture
Yeah,
it
right?
Yeah.
if he has the same haircut and he wears shades.
Yeah.
He looks like Wesley Snipes.
Just taller, I think.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, taller.
Taller, slimmer. But the happiest news for me throughout this whole day was Tony Leung getting cast as Mandarin. Tony Leung is Hong
Kong
Kong's
actor,
one of the
yeah.
biggest stars and one of the
Nice.
most talented, and I really love watching him. And I am very curious to see if he can speak proper English.
Ah.
No, that's the good thing though.
But most of the new generation Hong Kong actors, they're okay with English.
Not Tony Leung
not-
is
He's
old guy.
Andy
oldie.
Lau generation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool if he doesn't speak English.
And then we
Like,
have to read subtitles.
Yeah, and
Or
has
there'll
to
be a
use-
translator.
Yeah, I watched that.
What
Yeah.
say Leia? Cannot.
All right, so that's all. Most of the Marvel news that was announced today.
Yeah.
I think this Comic-Con, I have to say, I think Marvel stole the show.
Yeah.
Like, they brought the goods, and everyone's looking forward to whatever they have announced. We also got some other announcements during Comic-Con, which we'll breeze through very quickly. Rick Grimes is returning in a movie, the Walking Dead movie.
Okay.
Did you guys know about this?
Yeah.
There's a Walking Dead movie.
There is
The
going to be.
final
Yeah.
episode will be in cinema.
In cinemas.
Oh,
So he's
okay.
coming back for that. I'm not a fan, so whatever. Blumhouse has announced that they are doing a sequel to Halloween, which was one of last year's best horror thriller slasher movies. Jamie Lee
Remake.
Curtis is coming back, and it's still centered around Michael Myers, of course. I'll watch it.
I will.
Yep, there you go.
Kai will, I will not.
You didn't
We'll
like
see.
I didn't even watch the last
remake.
year.
Oh, didn't you?
No.
Okay.
Horrible. You didn't miss much.
Oh, sure. Okay. Here's something that is definitely horrible, and Dell's gonna back me up on this. Fast and Furious 9. They're in full swing production now, and they announced, well, not they, Vin Diesel announced that 2 cast members are coming back for this movie, and those 2 are Charlize Theron and Helen Mirren.
What?
Oh, gotta watch it now.
Sure.
Who said this?
Vin Diesel.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, was there a new trailer for Hobbs and Shaw?
There was a second trailer.
Because I just saw one when we were watching.
Yes.
I was like, I've never seen this trailer.
Yep.
It's more ridiculous. I love it.
Hobbs and Shaw has a lot of trailers, actually.
You know what's gonna happen, right? Like
What, space?
next week, TB and I are going on like a little holiday. We're gonna watch it in IMAX.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Nice.
Yep.
There is a Blumhouse Tilt trailer. What is it called? It stars David Oyelowo, and he is in. So he has this niece, right? And then one day, the niece and her family, her parents, were killed by a murderer. Weeks later, he received a phone call, and on the phone it says the niece's name. He picks it up, and then the niece is like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Who is this?" And she's like,
I'm
"What do
your
you
niece."
mean? I'm
Yeah.
your niece." And he asked her, "What date is it?" And she said it's 3 months from the past.
Whoa.
And they are going to change the future. The death.
So he's in the present time.
He's in-
She's
yeah.
3 months in the past. So this is like what's that movie, House by the Lake situation?
House.
Lake House, yeah.
Oh, instead of telephone, it was a letter.
No,
Yeah.
instead of letters, a telephone.
Oh,
Now
yes.
it's
telephone,
yeah.
Other way around.
I watched the trailer. I got goosebumps.
Okay,
It's really good.
I should check it out.
Yeah.
Did you know Lake House was a Korean movie originally?
Really?
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's from TV, our resident Korean.
But I thought, what was
Ambassador.
Keanu Reeves was really good there though.
Okay. White Chicks 2, which apparently
Yawn.
was on the news a couple of weeks ago because Terry Crews said, "Oh yeah, it's happening."
So it's not?
Marlon Wayans came on and said, look, hey, don't jump the gun. It's not happening yet. We don't have a deal on this yet. So Terry Crews probably jumped the gun and said, yeah, it's happening. And then Marlon Wayans is like, yeah, we want to, but we don't have a deal yet. So hold your horses.
Okay.
I'm indifferent to this news. I
want it
want
to
it to
happen.
happen.
What story could we possibly get? Yeah, apart
Another
from Terry
undercover.
Crews, apart from Terry Crews with his glow stick, I don't want to see anything.
Oh yeah.
glow stick and whistle.
Yeah.
Space Jam 2, which is a movie that apparently is still coming out. LeBron James is helming this, and he's pushing it through his production company. They've drafted Don Cheadle into this movie, War Machine himself, but we don't know what he's going to be playing in this movie. Is he going to be a human character, or is he going to be voicing one of the animated characters? Who knows?
When you say LeBron James is helming this, you don't mean he's directing, right?
No. He's pushing for it to happen, and he's it's going through his production company.
So he's producing.
So he
He's
has a
producing.
production company now.
Yes, he's diversifying.
It's very smart.
A very smart guy.
He's retiring soon, I suppose, from basketball.
I would assume so.
He's getting there.
Wasn't he in that movie with what was that? It was a comedy.
Trainwreck.
Trainwreck. He
Yeah.
was. Yeah. He can act, but as himself. We have to see.
He's been in a movie. He must know a lot about movies then.
Oh, and by that extension, Timmy's been in a Korean series, so he must know a lot about Korean series.
You must know a lot about Koreans.
Wait, that's you and Afif
Wow.
He has more scenes.
Superstars in this room.
in this room. Oh, the talent is amazing.
We're not supposed to.
No.
What? Nothing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Power Rangers, which is now owned by Hasbro, they made a big purchase from Saban earlier this year.
Whoa.
Yeah, they bought over everything, like the whole
Everything.
catalog from Saban. They want to do a reboot, and apparently it's happening. Like we got a Power Rangers movie 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and that's being rebooted.
What? So that never happened?
I don't know.
That was a different dimension because in Power Rangers storyline now there's multi-dimension.
True.
So this is probably a different dimension.
but I liked
from-
Kimberly and
I want to see how
Jason.
it turns out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't. The only thing I didn't like about the old Power Rangers was the robot could have been better. The Megazords, the Zords.
I mean, they were better than the original.
What are you saying? You take that back.
That's from Tibi, our resident Power Rangers expert. So you have two roles now.
Yes.
Okay. Bit of Star Wars news. Daisy Ridley has come out and said that fans will be very satisfied with Rise of Skywalker, which is coming out at the end of this year. Dell is shaking his head once again.
This is like
What
Well,
else is she gonna say, right?
no.
She's
yes,
using
but
her
then
star power to convince us.
what did the what's his name? What's the guy with the glow stick again?
Terry
Crews.
Crews.
Yeah, who jumped the gun and announced White Chicks 2. So she may be jumping the gun and said fans will be very satisfied.
So you're
She doesn't know me.
you're still sort of holding your chips
I
in
am.
here, and you're going, I don't know. You want to see more, right? Before you
Yeah.
make any assumptions. Any of you have anything to say about Star Wars?
I have low expectations.
At this point, I'll love whatever that's coming
I
out.
mean,
Yeah.
she's just saying that. That's what I want to hear.
I want to
That's
see
about
which
it. I don't believe it.
Skywalker is on the rise.
Yeah. I don't know what's
Maybe she
going
is.
on anymore.
That's very good. Let's end it with this bit of news. Also at Comic-Con, they had like a panel for Terminator Dark Fate, which is coming out at the end of this year.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, this actually looks good. And one of the surprise announcements was that Eddie Furlong is coming back as
Yes.
John Connor.
I hope he's not. I hope he's not high.
Wait, John Connor?
Yeah. Eddie Furlong, Edward Furlong, the guy who was
The young-
John Connor in Terminator 2,
Uh-huh.
who went off the rails for
Yeah.
many years. He's coming back. It was announced by James Cameron himself. He's like, we're getting back Edward Furlong. He will be John Connor. So Linda Hamilton's coming back. Edward Furlong's coming back. And
Arnold
they're reprising their
Schwarzenegger.
roles.
Definitely coming back.
In Terminator Dark
Terminator.
Fate, the movie that's coming out this year.
I knew it.
No, you
You
just
were asking.
you just said I want a John Connor,
Okay,
and
yeah.
you said I don't care which John Connor.
Okay, yeah.
And now apparently it's the original John Connor.
It's the original. Okay, what does he look like now?
Doesn't look like
doesn't
what
look
he was. Yeah.
great.
He looked like after rehab. or
yeah, but those were not recent photos.
Yeah, I
Look
know.
like melted ice cream.
Oh, yeah, he does.
That is horrible. Anyway, that's the news this week on the Wayang Crew podcast. We have a lot of news, so we're going to be breezing through our review this week of The Lion King, which, as I mentioned, is the when we were in the cinema full of kids.
Yeah.
And for some reason, when that music started, when those vocals came in, all the kids laughed.
they got startled at first,
I was startled.
and then they laughed.
And then they laughed.
Yeah, I was with the kids on this one.
How dare you disrespect someone's culture?
Anyway, The Lion King is the latest live-action remake of the Disney classic by the same name, The Lion King. This is, as far as I can tell, almost a shot-for-shot recreation of the original movie, which is an animated movie. This is now a computer-generated movie. There is an all-star standard voice cast. Donald Glover plays Simba, the adult Simba at least. James Earl Jones is the only actor to reprise his role as Mufasa. Scar is voiced by Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Nala is voiced, the adult Nala at least, is voiced by Beyonce, of all people. And here's the latest edition. My favorite edition of this is Zazu, now voiced by John Oliver, and Timon and Pumbaa, of course, are in this movie, voiced by Seth Rogen, and I can't remember the other guy's name. Timon. Oh.
It's like Timmy or Bobby.
Oliver? No, wait.
No.
Anyway, well,
Key and Peele is also in it.
yeah, well, no,
As the hyenas.
not Key and Peele, just
Key.
Wait, I
Key.
thought both of
Yes,
them.
Keegan.
No.
I just saw
Yeah,
Keegan.
just Keegan Michael
Okay.
Key.
Wait,
Oh, that's a
where
hyena.
is
Yeah,
he?
he's one of the
And,
hyenas.
Billy Eichner.
Billy Eichner, there you go.
Yeah, Timmy, Bobby,
Billy.
Billy.
Bob.
There's also Lupita.
Lupita Nyong'o as
There's a new character.
What?
No,
Mother?
the
No,
hyena.
the hyena.
Oh,
the
okay.
lady hyena.
yeah, Shenzi. No, Shen.
The hyena.
Yeah, the leader of the hyenas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just watched this movie a couple of hours ago. Del watched it a couple of days ago. Let's go around the panel. Del, what do you think of this movie?
What do I think? I think it's a mistake.
Yes.
The CGI is fantastic. The realism of creating all these characters and the environment and the jungle, and even down to the little insects. Like we get a few sequences of just watching little insects or just watching a fur fly in the air and go wherever it went. All these are very beautifully done. It's like an achievement in CGI, in animation, whatever it is. It's just that there is a disconnect between the characters and the voice actors, because to me it's like watching National Geographic and then you have somebody dubbing voices into these animals.
Yeah.
So the facial expression is not there. There isn't any expression. Like even body language is not there. At least in the cartoons, you see these animals like they move their limbs around and they are very
eyebrows,
expressive.
eyes,
Yeah.
cheeks.
This one is just dead. Like even when they are singing, they have no expression when they sing.
Yeah.
At the end of a song, you sometimes you drag it like until the end, and then it just doesn't show it on the faces of the animals doing it, and they're just standing there looking blank. As the story from the original or the additional little things that's put in, it's fine, but it's just that it's so jarring to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Timmy?
I think some movies are made to win accolades. This movie is made to make money. I don't think in Disney's perspective, we made a mistake. Like, I think they're like, oh yeah, we made money, so move on to the next one. But I think this movie could have done a lot better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In terms of what?
In terms of, like whatever Del said, like the expression,
emotions
like,
and
you don't feel
Yeah.
connected. Like you watch the original Lion King, like, oh, the father died.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even feel sad when Mufasa died in this movie.
That's
Like,
true.
I felt sad because it was an animal that died. But no, like an animal. You don't feel like it's Mufasa. It's like,
Yeah.
a dead lion.
yeah.
So what you're saying is it got too real for you.
It got too real, but you don't see those animals you see on screen as those characters. You know, they traded the feeling of realism at the expense of, like
Emotions.
Like,
emotions.
I think like when Mufasa died, this is like documentary.
Yeah.
Discovery Channel.
So I was like, oh, no.
The lion just fell into the gorge and it's dead. Moving on.
You know what I want to do when this movie is available to purchase on Blu-ray? I just might buy it just for the technical accolades that
Yeah.
it is. It is a masterpiece
Yes.
on its own right. But I will not turn the sound on,
Yeah.
You want to dub it?
and I will dub it myself. And then the lion fell. All right, Naz, you have anything to add on to what you just said? Yeah.
I feel like the choice of voice actors matters here. Like, you shouldn't pick a person just because of how famous they are
Yeah.
or how well they sing.
Oh, that's very targeted.
I thought Donald Glover was alright voicing Simba at some scenes because he did sound a bit like Matthew Broderick in some scenes,
Okay,
which I liked.
What?
No, I thought sometimes he sounded okay.
that's
But-
your opinion.
Yeah, but I thought Nala was She's so ghetto.
Beyonce sounded like she was from the Bronx, from the
Yeah,
hood.
no.
You gotta go back.
And then when she's talking to Simba, it's like it doesn't.
There's no connection.
No connection
Yeah,
at
no
all.
connection.
In comparison to young Simba and young Nala, they were in the same room when they recorded their
Yeah,
lines.
yeah.
So you could feel the connection there.
Yeah.
I don't feel the love.
And the theory I have is that obviously Beyonce did not record with any
Yeah.
of the other cast members, and I think that I can say that for almost all the voice cast.
Yeah.
Most of them did not record together,
Yeah.
or they just went in there, read their lines in the booth, and maybe did like 20 takes of each line, and they cut it into the
I
movie.
think when they
Yeah.
recorded the song, they were together. I remember like watching an interview.
I know
Donald
Timon and
Glover-
Pumbaa were.
Donald Glover was like, I can't sing properly because that's Beyonce in front of me. So
I
he
also
was
thought
like nervous.
Beyonce added too many.
Yeah.
It ruined
So
the song.
Every time
irritating.
that happened, I nudged
Like-
Nas
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
the movie.
Like,
It's so
it's
bad.
not required, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
let's move on quickly to
yeah,
Afif. Like your quick thoughts on.
I think the movie is a cash grab.
Yes.
I don't know what Disney was thinking to think that realism is a good thing, because Disney is so married to the idea of realism that what's missing from the original Lion King is, like Del said, expressions and emotions. Like when Mufasa died, lions can't cry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's only this. I'm
How
opening
dare
my
you.
mouth. I mean, I mean, think about it. Like, we only saw Simba open its mouth, and that's the closest thing that we get from crying.
Yeah. Actually,
So
you're
I
right.
don't feel that.
Yeah, we don't see any more. Back again,
Exactly.
more about emotions.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna just echo like everything you guys have said. I, for one thing, that this was on a technical standpoint, this is a masterpiece for sure.
Yes.
The movie is flawless. Like you could,
CGI,
if
love
you had a magnifying glass, you could count the individual furs on these lions, and it's not even funny. Like Mufasa, like on his sides, he even had like veins.
The veins,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, that looks kind of real.
Scars and
Scars and everything.
See his ribs.
I mean, look at the dung beetle.
Yeah. However, James Earl Jones reprising his role as Mufasa, initially to me, I was like, okay, at least they got James Earl Jones because
Yeah.
his voice is iconic.
But it sounded out of
But
place.
it sounded very out of place for this movie.
Some scenes he sounded like Darth Vader. Some scenes he
Yeah,
sounded like
yeah.
Optimus Prime. Some-
Maybe.
And some scenes he did sound like Mufasa. So I don't know. There's that in like.
Maybe they recorded on a different day.
I mean, let's not forget, like James Earl Jones is in his 80s now.
Yeah.
So
That's
he's
true.
he's not. I mean, the last movie was more than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So he would have been around 60.
Alright.
Either he's 80 or his mid 80s. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But you could tell that it's not the same
Yeah.
energy as his original recordings for the animated version.
Mm-hmm.
Scar, voiced by Chiwetel Ejiofor,
Lacked a lot.
Yeah, but I think it's also us. I think I'm too married to listening to
To the
Jeremy
old Scar,
Irons'
yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
And then he did that "Be Prepared." It wasn't really a song.
It
It
was
was
a-
just
it was a speech.
Spoken poetry, right?
it was a sonnet. It was just like, here it is, and be
Yeah.
prepared, and that's it.
But his last line, his last "Be prepared" was pretty good.
Sure.
That's just 2 words.
I have the same problems like you guys have with the two leads, which is Simba and Nala, voiced by Donald Glover and Beyonce. It didn't gel. Like there was no emotion, even to the point where when Simba, after having left Pride Rock and decided to come back, he didn't feel like he had lost something. It was just like, oh, I didn't believe you, and that was it.
That's
I think one other issue is that I know Beyonce is like this old, and then there's Donald Glover, and
Yes.
then this old, and then like, oh, Jay-Z is with I'm like, this is wrong.
You go and ask Demi Moore.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with age.
Yeah, but not when
No,
you
but, like,
put it in the movie.
Her voice
No, I think
sounds really mature.
The problem is Donald Glover didn't act. He sounded so like himself.
Yeah.
You watch anything that he's done except for Solo. You watch like his series
Community and
Atlanta.
yeah.
yeah,
It's just
sounds
him.
like him. Yeah,
It's just him, right? I mean, he didn't do any like variations of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think fault falls on Jon Favreau for directing them into the
Yeah.
characters.
And then Tibi or Del, both of you mentioned about the emotion. Well, all of us mentioned about the lack of emotions. And
Yeah.
I mean, it goes without saying, we saw the posters that came out a couple of weeks ago, and it was just like a poster of a lion and a poster of a bird and a poster of a warthog and a meerkat. And
Yes,
like,
it is.
Yeah.
this is a National Geographic poster. And there was no facial expressions because they can't. They genuinely can't do it. Because, yeah, like you mentioned, lions don't have those emotions. Lions can't. Well, we don't know if they can't cry.
Yeah.
I
But
haven't asked them yet.
Timon had the most emotion.
Huh?
Timon had
Timon had the most
Yeah.
emotions.
because he was so
Animated,
animated.
yeah.
Although I seriously got some Nathan Lane vibes from this voice actor. Like he was
yeah.
he was trying a little bit to be a
Yeah.
Nathan Lane.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought Timon and Pumbaa and Zazu, those three were
Pumbaa
really
and Zazu
good.
for me.
I think they saved the movie where
Yeah.
they broke the monotony
Yes.
in
Yes.
certain
Yes,
places.
I agree.
Yeah, so they got those actors in, which is fair. I mean, those characters are voiced by comedic actors, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Jordan Peele was funny also.
Yes.
No.
Keegan Michael Key.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
I thought the two
Hyenas.
were really good.
Stay away from me. Like that's a good enough space.
Okay, this is my distance. Like
Yeah.
we got this whole cave, and you're next to me. Okay, I guess we'll go on and give ratings for The Lion King. Let's start off with Del.
I'll give it 5.5 Hakuna Matata.
5 Hakuna Matatas. Tibi.
6 out of 10 grubs.
6 out of 10 grubs. Okay. Nazu.
6.5 hairy dung.
Oh, it's getting higher. It's getting higher as we go along. And Afif.
6 laughing hyenas.
6 laughing hyenas. I'm gonna give this movie 5, like a solid 5 grubs out of 10, because this is a neither here nor there movie for me
It's
personally.
not bad.
It's not.
It's
not bad.
okay. It's
not bad.
beautiful. That's
Yeah.
about it.
It's just a feast for the eyes, but don't go in there looking for a story, because you get a much better experience if you watch the original movie,
Exactly.
the animated movie. If I had to sum this up, I may be overstepping a little bit here, but I will say that this rehash version of The Lion King is a soulless version of the first.
I
Yes.
agree.
Okay.
I agree. Except for the intro.
Except for the
Except for the intro.
And I think
And
the
then-
song's a lot better. than
Just
the
gonna
original.
bring one thing up, and there's not enough Rafiki.
yeah. I mean, Rafiki didn't say much.
Yeah, which is kind
Simba.
of sad because he played like a big turnaround.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's just there.
Did
That's
Rafiki
it.
say a lot in the...
Yes, he did.
said meaningful things.
Yeah,
Said meaningful
like
things. And then there was that period where he appeared in front of Simba and he convinced Simba. He's like, follow me through the to find your father.
and then
And
he
then
hit Simba's
hit
head.
Simba's head. I mean,
Yeah, and
he
he's like, "What'd you do that?"
I mean, he can't do this here.
Yeah,
It would have been kind of cool to see like this realism factor for the lions and Rafiki
Yeah.
as a baboon, and then them hugging, which they do in the animated movie, but not in this movie.
Because if he did hit Simba in the head, he'll probably get eaten in this one.
It's only gonna hit Simba once.
All right, so that's our review of The Lion King, which is now showing here in local cinemas. Do check it out. It's a fun time overall, although if you have watched the original animated movie, that's probably better. Next up, we have...
apa liat-liat? Apa liat-liat? Hoi, 看什么看？ apa liat-liat?
Apa liat liat?
那看什么看？
apa liat-liat? See what see? 小了。
Yep, it's Apa Liat Liat, and it's what else we've been watching this week. Del, Apa Liat Liat, what have you been watching?
Bjorn Borg and McEnroe, that movie.
What? Oh, the tennis,
The tennis one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's a nice look back at what the rivalry was and how it started and the history between them and how each individual rose to fame.
So this is set in at the height of their careers in the 80s.
In the 70s, late 70s.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But then there isn't a lot of. You can tell the how they hit the balls, and that is not real. They're just hitting the
okay.
ball, and then with some clever
Dialogue.
edits, and then you get the action, quote unquote, sequence. Yeah.
Would you recommend it?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
TV, Apa Liat Liat.
I finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Ooh.
All of it?
I think I'm not sure. Like when they got married at the end, which was what was it? I don't know. That was the end of that season, and then I started watching Shaft last night, the Samuel L. Jackson Netflix movie,
The new one this
the
year.
new one.
Okay.
But I didn't finish it because I don't know. It was draggy in the beginning.
Sorry, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The last episode was when they got married.
Yeah.
Then there is a new season.
Oh,
already.
okay.
So you have another
I
season.
have another season, which is not out on Netflix yet.
Okay. But Shaft is a no-no, or...
I don't know. It needed more of Samuel L. Jackson because like the first 20 minutes, you see just some small bit of him, and then it's mostly his kid in the movie.
Because it's on my suggested feed on Netflix. I'm like, should
Yeah.
I click it? I'm not very bothered with this.
No, I don't know. The younger star in the movie is not to my
Liking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know it's out already. I want to watch this
Yeah,
one.
it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I want to watch it.
I watched it. Nazu, apa lihat?
I watched Lake House, starring Sandra Bullock and
Oh, Lake House.
what's his name? John Wick.
You
Keanu Reeves.
You should
Keanu
watch the
Reeves.
Korean version.
Yeah, now that you mention it. Actually,
I
we
should
watched
check it out.
Lake House.
Yeah, it's like a guy who lives in a lake house his dad built, but he's in contact with a girl from the future who
2
also
years
lives in the lake house.
Yeah.
Pass. Oh yeah, the future. Yeah, the
And
future.
Yes.
the only way they can contact each other is through
That mailbox.
the mailbox. Yeah.
Okay. Would you recommend it? Because I've never watched it.
I do recommend it. I give it a 6.5 out of 7.
Wow. Okay, that's
Out of
not-
7.
Out of
That's pretty high.
6.5 out of 10. Sorry.
6.5 out of 7. Right.
Yeah.
You tried to cheat the system there, didn't you? Afif, apa lihat?
Aside Lake House, I tried watching Arthurdal Chronicles, the one that TB and I starred in. I
We
tried.
didn't start it.
Hey, we did.
Sure.
I tried, but boy, it was just so draggy.
It's so slow, right?
Yeah, it's so
I'm
slow.
not supposed to say this. Oh my
To
god!
be honest, I fell asleep.
I fast forwarded way so
Yes,
many times
just so that I can see me, and I cannot find myself nor TB yet.
Oh my
So
god!
I'm just
it's
gonna
so
give it
slow.
more time.
All right, but you guys do have to power through because
I know, right?
you guys are in this. Lastly, me, I haven't been watching anything this week except for, and this is gonna surprise maybe some of you. It's on Netflix now, and I thought I'd just click, and I'm up to season 2 now. I'm watching the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
It is unrecommended.
It is unrecommended, and it's kind of fun to go back, and it's the 90s, and it's a whole different time. This is probably mine and Dell's, growing up years, and this was on TV. So we're watching it, and yeah, I can say I'm hooked. So it's on in the background while I'm doing other things, but I do pay attention a little bit.
Can you do the dance already?
No, I can't do the dance. So that's it. That's what we've been watching this week on the Wayang Crew podcast for Apa Liat Liat. That's the end of the show, guys, and I think we're done for this week. And unless any of you have anything else to say.
No, have a nice week, guys.
Have a good weekend.
Nice
Or
week.
whatever's left of it.
All right, next week we'll be probably giving you a review of something. I'm not sure. I haven't checked. We'll see. Anyway, from Kevin.
Crawl. Did you guys do Crawl?
Crawl. Oh yeah, we could do Crawl. It's already out in
You
theaters.
guys could do Crawl. I'm not watching that.
Hey, let's watch it.
No, apparently it's good.
Apparently it's good.
Apparently it's good. Like
I saw it. It's good.
Oh, you saw it?
I saw it.
Okay,
We
but-
saw Lion King. We can see Crawl.
So for now, tentatively, we might do Crawl, but we'll see next week. I'd like to thank all my co-hosts, Del, TB, Nazu, and Afif for joining me on this week of the podcast. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.